Well, I think in the same way, too, with, institutions of higher education, academia, this loophole where they don't have to report it. It's such a flagrant national security threat. It's so obvious, but I guess it's sort of part of the insider trade, the insider deal, right? They're not going to regulate because it's their same donors and lobbyists who are funding them. But you bring up the UAE. Obviously, we focus very extensively and intensely on the Chinese Communist Party and their kind of influence peddling going on in this town. That was something that sort of shocked me from the report, that their numbers were considerably less. But is that more a symptom of the fact that they're just not reporting it? It's sort of stealthy, sneakier, or who are some of the biggest, shall we say, offenders in terms of, the foreign countries? And to that point, this is two questions, but can you talk about the United States government funding of some of these think tanks as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Those are wonderful questions. I'll start with the question of China because, frankly, Natalie, that really shocked me too. We found very, very little funding coming from the CCP. And I think there's a very clear reason for that. It's that think tanks don't have to report funding from the CCP, or as I mentioned, any foreign government for that matter, or any donor for that matter. And because of that, when you have a country that has a stigma on it, like the CCP does, if you are a think tank accepting funding from them, you're just not going to report it. You're just going to hide that. You're going to keep that as dark money. So I said this was the tip of the iceberg. And I think if we look at that iceberg of money that's below what we found here, I think you would find a lot more money flowing in from the CCP to U.S. think tanks. But because of all these loopholes in U.S. laws right now, they just simply don't have to report that. To your question about the U.S. government funding think tanks, this was an important issue for us because, at the end of the day, I'm a taxpayer, you're a taxpayer. I think one of the last things that we want to see is that U.S. taxpayer dollars going towards influencing and, spreading propaganda to U.S. taxpayers.